Hey guys, it's Dan. Um, I've been, I know I put a post on Instagram recently about how I'm looking to kind of do this type of more intimate and honest content. Um, and I want to do stuff on Instagram, and I'm going to do stuff on Instagram, but I, the stuff I really want to do is going to have to be more long form because I think that that's going to be the key to kind of connecting with you guys and breaking down all these barriers that we have on social media. And I apologize in advance for uh, this is going to sound a lot like a ramble because I've never done this before. So I'm saying a lot and probably seem like I'm going on tangents at times. So I apologize in advance for that. Um, But this first video, I want to talk about mental health. I mention it a lot on Instagram and um, and other social media that I battle with a lot of mental health issues and stuff like that. And so I figured this first video should kind of be me talking about the stuff that I deal with personally, and then from there we can kind of dive into um, the more particular aspects of it, and then hopefully we can get the connection going and um, kind of get a good back and forth. So to start it, I was diagnosed with depression when I was 8 years old, and around the same time I was diagnosed with ADHD. Um, I was bullied a lot in elementary school, middle school. I was beat up. I got robbed a few times. And I would come home from school crying. I would run away from school and just like go hide in my parents' house and like go just like we had a key underneath the mat back in the day, and I would just like sit in there and cry and ask my mom, why don't kids like me? Why don't they like me? You know. And although the bullying stopped when I got into high school because I got a little bit taller, the depression doesn't, at least for me, it never left me. Um, and it's we all we know how it works. It comes in waves. Everything is like this. You have some days where you're genuinely happy and you don't even think about it, and there's other days that are just they seem like they're impossible. Um, I it's kind of hard to describe, how I personally deal with it because I feel like, I'm 33. I just turned 33 about a week ago, um, and about a week ago, and to think that I've been dealing with this for like 25 years is insane to me. You know, there were there were so many days, weeks, months, over the course of that 25 years where I was sure that I would never make it this far because it was just too hard. But here I am, and I was thinking about. I mean, I think about this a lot, but now that I'm kind of doing this form of content, I was trying to think, what are some pieces that I can point to and be like, oh, this is a tactic that I have, that I use and it's effective. And I think the biggest one for me, because I deal a lot with like self doubt and like I don't think I'm very good at anything, and I feel like I'm just kind of like masquerading as someone who's good as I'm good at pretending to be good at certain things. Um, but the one thing that I always try to remember, and this is probably for like the last like about 10 years, so like yeah, 23, 24 is when I think I started using this tactic. Is you know even if, let's say, like even if I'm right at my, it's not, that's not the depression talking, and I'm not a good songwriter, and I'm not a really good friend, and I'm not, I don't know, a good tour manager or whatever it is. The thing that I try to focus on at the end of the day is like do I make a concerted effort to try and be a good person? You know, am I kind to people? Do I go out of my way to be kind to people, to be empathetic, to be caring, to offer help to people who need it? And you have to focus, I think, in order to beat depression. This is a good life practice in general, but for depression and mental health, it's so important to look at everything in the macro. I mean, like I said, I've been dealing with this for 25 years. And it's like, you know, on a daily basis, if I can at least, the very least, point even on my worst day, if it's like I can point to it and be like, you know what, you were a good person when this happened. You were a caring person when this happened. You were an empathetic person when this happened. You saw someone who needed help and you offered it and you gave them help. That is like my foundation. That even my depression I don't allow it to crack through that, because it's like, I know it's true, because you always have to try to step back and look at the bigger picture. And it's like, even if all those other things are true that my depression likes to make me think are true, I can still point to me being or trying to be a good person. And to me, that's the foundation for everything. I don't allow the depression to eat it away at that. So I think I'd say that's like my primary tactic. And the other side of that is that it feels good to treat people fairly. It feels good to not judge people. It feels good to know that you were kind when someone needed you to be kind. It feels good to help those who need it. So as a baseline, I think that's a formidable tactic. At least for me, it is. There are so many things that I could go on about, as far as the particulars of my battle and the obstacles that I come up with. But just for I'm gonna upload this, kind of like how it is right now, and I'm gonna cross-load it to IGTV, so I can keep the long format as well as YouTube, and it's so it'll be Free Dan Avery on YouTube, obviously Free Dan Avery Instagram. I do have a Twitter. I don't check it that frequently, but it's also Free Dan Avery. People usually ask me, why is it Free Dan Avery? And it's not like Free Dan Avery, like he's in jail or something like that. I use free as an adjective. I am free to be a good person. I am free to be the best version of myself that I can be. So the Free Dan Avery moniker is kind of like a reminder to myself that I am free to make choices that make me. I'm free to be happy. I mean, I believe a lot in empowerment, whether it's empowerment of the self or empowerment of other people. So it's a reminder to me that, like, what, I'm allowed to be happy. I'm allowed to be free to be happy. Anyway, comment if you have anything that you want to share. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Or if you just want to say what's up. And same for Instagram and all that jazz. I love you guys. It gets better. Be strong. You can be strong. You have it in you to be great and to be happy. And I say this a lot to people when I talk to them on a one-on-one basis, and they're like, dealing with some shit. So I think I'm gonna leave. I'd like to leave every video with this, and that is this: you are a good person, and you deserve to be happy. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.